Hi guys, I'm Jackie. I'm a nurse by trade, and I decided to discuss about the penalty rates here in Australia, which I think could help with people, especially the students here who are worried about the 48 hours work limit this coming July, which is going to be implemented. So this is another way to maximize your earnings legally. So just stay tuned. Hi guys, I'm Jackie, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Before we get started, please don't forget to hit subscribe button and the bell button to get an update with new videos uploaded in my channel. And please like, comment, and share. Before we proceed on calculating, guys, I think it's better if you know other terminologies. So there are so many types of employment here in Australia, and I'm just talking about the three. Typically, people work for 7.5 hours to 8 hours per day. In 5 days, that's 38 to 40 hours per week. In a fortnight, there are 14 days. And in total, that's going to be 76 to 80 hours per week. So a full-time worker works on that number of hours in a fortnight. And since they can work unlimited, they can work elsewhere and they can do overtime, they can do part-time casual job elsewhere as well. So for part-time workers, that would be either the students who have only 48 hours this coming July, and those who's got a family and they need less than hours of work to look after the children. For casual workers, they are paid higher. However, they don't have other benefits that a permanent worker does have. They will only work when it is a necessity or there's a need for the company to call one. In short, they are understaffed. A lot of you guys might not be aware of the penalty rates here in Australia because some countries they don't impose that. And this Australia is really generous when it comes to this. And um, so for example, for me, I used to live in Sydney, and this is the example of penalty rates that applies to nurses. So penalty awards can vary per state and per profession. So I'm talking about my scope or my experience. So different profession have different pay rates. Okay, so in NSW, for example, in the morning they don't have penalty rates, but for example, in the afternoon, you can get an extra 10% if you work between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So, ano ba example niyan? So, for example, your shift start at 11 a.m. and it will finish at 7 p.m. Then you're gonna have 10% extra from your base salary. If naman you're still in the afternoon and your manager decided to let you start at 1:30 p.m. and then you'll finish at 10 p.m. Just because you started between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., then it means that your penalty rate will have an increase of 12.5% from your base salary. And pag naman night shift, that would be in between the starting of work from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. So, example is if you started at 9 p.m. and then you finish at 7 a.m., then you have an extra 15% penalty rate. Pag naman casual, you'll have a 25% increase from your base salary on top of your penalty rates if you start in afternoon and night shift. Bakit mataas ang sweldo nila? It's just because they don't have other benefits like uh, sick leave pay, or they don't have annual leave as well that are accumulated. Mm, and then if they're going for like a maternity leave or something, like anything that's related to leave, they don't have that entitlement for payment or monetary equivalent to that, hence they get paid really high. So pag naman Saturday, if you work from midnight ng Saturday up to midnight ng Sunday, that means that you're going to have an extra 50% on top of your base salary. And then if you started naman on Sunday na midnight after the midnight of Monday, then you got an extra 75% on top of your base salary. And if you're a permanent worker or a part-time worker, then you get an additional 150% only, but you get an additional hours equivalent to the work that you work on a public holiday. So, say example, you work 8 hours on a public holiday, then you'll have an extra 8 hours annual leave plus 150% salary. But if you're a casual worker, on top of your pay rate na 125%, you get a 250% as well on top of that. So let's discuss an example.
Now that we have discussed the terminologies and an example of a penalty rate, let's discuss an example of a fortnight here that is just recent. From April 3 to April 16, there is 2 weekends and 2 public holidays that we can calculate.
Sa scenario na binigay ko, guys, let's play on that. So for example, on that fortnight, you decided na mag-work ka on those 2 public holidays and you will only work on the weekends. Alright? So, lagay natin siya dito. Mag-work ka ng, sabihin na natin, 16 hours kasi 8 plus 8 and then another 16 hours. 8 plus 8. And dahil 2 ang public holiday, that's another 16 hours. So, that's 48 hours already. So, in that fortnight, na maximize mo na yung 48 hours, you don't need to work for the rest of the day once na ma-meet mo yung 48 hours. And then, for example, ang rate mo dun sa company na yun is $25 an hour. So, let's see. Alright? Ang potential earning mo for that one with the penalty rate is 1,900. So, let's just briefly muna discuss about this. Alright? So, if you're doing some shift with a penalty rate, then as I've discussed before on this specific hour, you'll get a 10% increase on your base salary, or you can have another extra 12.5% if you started in this hour, or if you're doing a night shift, then plus 15 hours on your base rate. And if on Saturday you're working from midnight ng Saturday up to midnight ng Sunday, then you get an extra 50% on your base salary. But if you're working on Sunday, then that would start from Sunday midnight up to 12 o'clock midnight or midnight ng Monday, which is gonna give you another extra 75%. But if you're working on a public holiday, you get an extra 50%. Okay, and this is only applicable rate for those who are working permanent position, for full-time and part-time position. And as I said, if you work 16 hours on a public holiday, you get an extra 16 hours on your annual leave. However, for those people who are working casual shift, on top of their 25%, they get an extra 50%, for example, on a Saturday, plus 75% again on Sunday. And if it's public holiday, they get, actually a 250%, alright? Because they don't have leave entitlement, hence they need to be paid. So guys, that's the earning that you're gonna get if you get penalty rate. However, compared to a working hours na hindi ka nag-work ng may penalty, na walang penalty rate, so your only earning is 1,200. So you see the difference, 700 extra income for you guys if you work on days with penalty rates and on days that has weekends and public holiday. So just maximize everything, guys. Good luck on your journey.
How about casual workers naman? So we will calculate that as well. So for casual workers, you just add 25% on top of your regular earning. If you're working on weekdays, that's only additional $300. And then for those who are working on penalty rates, that's going to be an equal to $2,375. And that would give you an additional $875 in extra money. Please take note that this recording is about my own experience and doesn't constitute the experience of others, and also I haven't discussed the tax part of it.